Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop, everybody. Today we are going to be discussing the difference between a Dreadnought, a Parlor, and an OM body size, and we're going to be doing that using the Bedell Revolution Series, and we're going to compare all of these so you can hear the differences and tell which one works best for you right after this. Now everybody talks about the California quakes. The first time I ever felt the earth shake was in Miami. Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be a fun one, Jeremy.
I can't wait.
Everybody always asks, what is the big differences between the body shapes? And before we get into that, again, as always, we want you to please listen to that full performance. It is on another video with the link down below. And as always, also press that like button and the follow and the subscribe and whatever you guys are.
And most importantly, make sure you leave some kind of comment below. Interact with us and other folks in the comment section. Sure. It's a lot of fun. It's a mini community we got going here. So
this is a really cool opportunity for us. We have in stock right now the 3 major body sizes from Bedell in the exact same series. Now this is the Revolution series, so we have a Parlor, we have an OM, and as well as a Dreadnought version, all in stock, the same exact time,
as I call them, the red coats.
The red coats, is that what you call them?
It's the Revolution series.
Oh, okay, whatever you say. So let's get right to the specs on these guitars. These are really nice. The price of these guitars is $46.90. Now that'll be for each of the various different body sizes, so same price for all of them. That one you get extra wood, so that's a bonus. And body sizes are the Parlor, like I said, a Orchestra Model or an OM, and a Dreadnought or D model here. The tone woods for this is they have an Adirondack spruce top with a Cocobolo sides and back. It does have the Eastern Hard Rock maple for the neck, as well as an ebony head plate on these. Binding wise, these are really, really nice. They come with the East Indian rosewood binding. Yeah, isn't that nice? With an ebony fretboard and bridge.
This has another layer inside that, right? That has like
a purfling line.
What is that wood?
Ebony?
No, is it?
Well, there's spalted maple.
Spalted maple.
Yeah, there's spalted maple in the purfling as well. There's a thin line of ebony as well. So yeah, that's not on the spec sheet, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Anyway, right now, these are still shipping with a bone nut and saddle, although that may be changing in the sometime in the future. At least that's what I've been told. As far as the tuners on these do have Waverly tuners in gold with the small ebony buttons. Looks really, really attractive.
I got the
even on the slot head. Yeah, so those are really, really nice tuners. Absolutely gorgeous guitars with the gloss finish. This has what they're calling a tanned leather burst, which is a little different from what they did on the original version of. It's very close. I
like it. A little tobacco-y.
I like this. Smoky. I like this new look of the Revolution. I really do. As far as the neck finish, it will have that satin finish, which is actually in a burst.
Yeah, they did a really cool burst on the back of that,
even in the peg head, there's a separate burst for the peg head and the neck.
Somebody was having fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat look to it, isn't it? Yeah. Nut width on these guitars officially lists out as a 1.687, close enough to being a 1 11/16 nut width. Now that's factory. You can, of course, order these in an 1 3/4 nut width. These guitars don't come with any pickup standard, but actually this Dreadnought actually did come with a factory installed anthem, which kind of makes it a little bit more unique.
From LR Bags or Lurbugs.
Lurbugs. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Jeremy. Anyway, great guitars. This has actually been one of my favorite series, especially from Bedell, because nobody can voice Cocobolo the way that they do. Cocobolo is a tough wood that is very, very oily, tough to work with, looks gorgeous, and everybody loves to look at them. But because of them being so dense, they don't tend to always sound the best unless you have a luthier that really knows how to voice them. And there's actually the tone matching system from Bedell has been really good at coming up with a way to kind of make these sound their absolute best. So that is pretty darn impressive.
And just a gorgeous wood too, Cocobolo. It's like you said, we were at the workshop up there, and it does have to be handled with gloves because that oil can really irritate your skin. But the appearance of it is just with that sapwood down the middle of all these, just gorgeous wood.
Yeah. Very, very hard to work with. They actually have to wear masks. I don't know if you know this or not, but they have to wear masks when they work with it, and it also gums up all of their material because there's so much oil in that wood. just not fun to do with.
Go through a lot of sandpaper.
Anyway, you guys don't care about that, but anyway, you want to hear
luthiers
more about
out
the
there do.
sound out there. So here's what we're going to do. We get a lot of calls and emails and all that saying, well, which is the right body shape for me? And I thought that this would be the greatest opportunity we had, which is the same manufacturer, same tone woods in 3 of the most popular body shapes out there. We didn't get into a grand auditorium in this particular instance, only because the fact that Bedell does not make one, but this handles
These
the
are 3
Dreadnought, small body,
popular
double O
models.
slash, Parlor size, and the Orchestra Model. To me, these are 3 of the most popular traditional shapes.
And besides, obviously, the appearance and size you're going to go into, it's mostly the tone that you're going to hear a really big difference on.
Well, there you have it, guys. 3 definitely distinct sounding guitars.
Each one just
even though they have the
incredible
same
instrument.
woods.
Yes.
And there's a little bit of wizardry going on here with Bedell. They do make their smaller bodies sound bigger than what most manufacturers do.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty darn impressive. This is one of the only manufacturers that I truly believe that I can play a small body guitar like this almost as hard and heavy as I would a Dreadnought and still not, absolutely bottom it out. That said, still the main characteristics of these bodies shows through pretty darn solid. I'm impressed
that
with
one that you've got right there. That's when I was playing the song.
the Parlor. Just has this upper end projection, brightness, and where it really pays off for finger picking. So it just has this articulation for even those soft finger movements. The Dreadnought obviously excels when you hit it with a flat pick. It just wants to just come
big
out there.
strum.
And for me, that's where the OM kind of fits in that sweet spot. If you're a person who just really loves all of the above, I want to play it hard, I want to play it light, I want to finger pick. The OM, those are just, that's a great way to kind of do that. And again, especially in the Bedell line, because you can really hit those things.
And then there are other extenuating circumstances, not necessarily just the tone, but the feel of it. A smaller bodied individual like myself, like I'm not talking about my belly, but my overall height. I'm not a very tall person. And my shoulder on a Dreadnought, I love the sound and fullness of a Dreadnought, but it really is a large instrument for me to hold at a long period of time.
So you just don't feel comfortable.
Have my shoulder, I don't feel comfortable having that shoulder. I know other incredible players, Sean Watkins being one that always came to mind with Nickel Creek. He kind of broke the mold in bluegrass where Sean was always playing like an Orchestra Model guitar. So there is a comfort factor, and also for somebody that loves Dreadnought but just wants a comfortable guitar to sit around the house, if you're not always wanting to have that elbow way up here playing a full Dreadnought, if you're just working out some solos or just playing for yourself.
Sure.
And then the Parlor guitar, that obviously any smaller individual, I love my Parlor. I got an Eastman Parlor size guitar, and I just love just that small size to it. It does have a different tone, though.
And they're just also super comfortable just to play in a lounge chair, or if you're just wanting to relax and play guitar, these small body guitars are just pretty impressive for that.
And if you're ever in a situation, either in a jam session or especially in a recording, or if you're live on stage and there's more than one guitar, it makes a huge difference to not duplicate the same body. Like if you have 2 Dreadnoughts up there, they just kind of compete with each other for all the attention and all the tone. Where if you mix it up a little bit, and almost like an orchestra where you have just different bodies for different tonal ranges. I know when you're in the studio and you need to layer a couple guitars, you'll capo one up, use a smaller body for that second guitar, just so they're not kind of stepping on each other tonally.
Absolutely. So there's a place for all of them. It's just going to come down to what your personal needs are and what works out best for you. And these are, like I said, generalities too. There are players that I know that play small body guitars and strum the fire out of them. And I also know that there are finger style players that play Dreadnoughts and Jumbos.
Anyway, what did you guys think? What was your favorite guitar? What do you prefer personally in your collection? Or are you one of those individuals that just a different instrument for different applications? We'd love to hear your comments below. Which of these 3 guitars was your favorite? Any questions you have that we didn't answer, we'll also try to get back to you on those as well. But this is great to have these 3 guitars in here. I am a huge fan of Bedell. We didn't talk too much about it, but we have reviews on these. Going to that square shoulder on the Dreadnought, I think made a big difference on those as well. Just huge fans of the brand. And then the different options, body styles. Hope that answers some of those questions for you guys. I know it's confusing when there's all these different options out there, but this is just kind of a little overview of what you can expect.
Absolutely. Well, folks, if you like Bedell guitars like we do, you might want to check out this video that's going to be linked right here in the center of your screen. It is going to be our tour of the factory up there. We had a great time visiting with all the folks up there in Bend, Oregon. They build fantastic guitars, and they are great.
We got to see a little bit of what they were doing, the tone optimization that we were talking about. Very impressive techniques. Check that out. A lot of fun touring with those guys, and a lot of questions answered.